All right, here are 5 tips to boost your score on standardized tests. Now, my expertise really lies in the SAT, but it will work across all standardized tests. So let's get into it. Number 1, you're gonna wanna fill out the booklet and then leave the bubble sheet for the end. This is going to save you a lot of time on each section. Now, just think about it for a second. You're filling out all the answers in the booklet and you're going over to the bubble sheet and filling them in immediately after. That's a lot of time going back and forth when it's going to be a lot more time efficient to fill out all the answers in the booklet, and when they give you a 5-minute warning or you realize that you're starting to run out of time, then you can transfer those answers over to the answer sheet, the bubble sheet. Another thing to note on the bubble sheet is that you don't need to have perfect bubbles. This is going to be like a tip 1.5. The bubbles don't need to be perfect, they just need to be legible. It's all an automated process, and making them perfect is going to be a waste of time. Number 2, be aware of off by 1 errors. Now, this term off by 1 is usually associated with the math section, usually with decimal places, or even if the answer is 10 and they add 1 or subtract 1 to make it 9 and 11 respectively. But you can also apply this to the reading and writing sections, and this is going to be off by 1 word. This will tie into another tip that we get into later in this video about the reading section, but if something in the text contradicts one aspect of what you perceive to be the correct answer choice, then it's going to be wrong, because every answer on the SAT has to be objectively right. We'll throw that in as a little bonus tip. And this actually ties into number 3. You want to make arguments against answers. Don't justify them. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to look in the text for either something that directly supports every part of the answer choice, or you're going to find a piece of the text that directly contradicts the answer choice. So I would recommend going and looking for what would make it wrong. Why is this answer choice wrong, as opposed to why it's right. Number 4, this is for the reading and writing section. The answer is plainly spelled out in the text, and you can usually put your finger on it. So, there have been numerous lawsuits throughout College Board's history because of a lack of objectivity on the SAT. Now, what they've had to do is create an objective style for the test, and this is why we're able to exploit that. So the answer choice has to be plainly restated or demonstrated from the text. In the actual course, I get a little bit more in-depth into this, but what's really important that you need to know is that it's plainly spelled out in the text for the reading and writing sections, and you can usually find the line that justifies it. And number 5, this is specifically for the math sections. And this is that all graphs and figures are to scale unless noted otherwise. So if they give you any kind of figure, you can assume that this figure is accurate. It's something that can help you cut down time on some math questions. You don't have to draw it out yourself. You can just trust the measurements that they give you if it says it's to scale. So those are the top 5 tips, but here's one more that's just kind of important. You're never going to want to leave anything blank. You know, on normal tests, you're going to get marked down for having the wrong answer. On the SAT, they don't mark you down for having the right answer, or the wrong answer rather. You just don't get credit for it. So if you run out of time, you can do a form of guessing. In the course, we talk a little bit more about guessing if it comes to that, but if you're going through a course or practice materials, you're likely going to be more prepared than needing to guess when it comes to test day. So there are a few of my most important tips. Of course, there's going to be a lot more of this in Score Sensei, my actual SAT course, which you can see information about down below. But I hope these tips helped you. Even if you don't get into the course, then this will help you when it comes to test day. And I'd still recommend doing practice tests before the actual SAT. So hope this video was informational, and I hope to see you in the course.